Project management. So what is it? Project management is a discipline of planning, organizing, securing, and managing resources to bring about the successful completion of specific project goals and objectives. In this presentation, two systems of project management will be analyzed and compared. PRINCE, an acronym for Projects in Controlled Environments, is a process or procedure-based project management method developed by Her Majesty's Treasury in the United Kingdom. To help explain PRINCE, the task of organizing this assignment has been used as an example project. A PRINCE project has clearly defined outcomes or products. This was to achieve an acceptable grade of at least a credit. The steps or processes in PRINCE help structure a project, as it must have a clear controlled start, middle, and end. At the start, it is important to check what is required and create a plan to achieve it. For this project, the brief needed to be agreed upon, and the plan was approved by the group to achieve it. Then, work needs to get done, made easier by breaking the project down into stages. It was decided initially research would be undertaken, then ideas would be discussed, and finally the video and paper would be created. At the end of the project, time was taken to reflect on whether the outcomes defined in the beginning had been achieved, and work was then undertaken in those areas to improve our predicted grade. Throughout a PRINCE project, decision points and communication channels need to be established so that everyone understands what is going on. For us, this was done through email and by meeting at the beginning of critical stages. A PRINCE project has 8 components that need to be considered. A business case. The benefits must outweigh the costs for the project to be worthwhile. The plan. The final result is a good grade, but it needs to be considered what is required to achieve it. And from this, it will be possible to see if this is realistic, given the time and our level of enthusiasm. Organization. The entire team needs to contribute and needs to be involved in the decision making. Management of risk. If someone can't complete their portion of work, this needs to be able to be dealt with. Controls. There's no point in a plan if it is not used to control progress, so it will need to be determined when contact will be made to check on each other's progress and make decisions regarding the project. Change control. We need to consider the impact of change on meeting the deadline for the project. Configuration management. We needed to ensure everyone had the most up-to-date version of the project or knew where to find it. Quality. We needed to ensure that the final project met the level of quality we established in the beginning. PMBOK is an acronym for the Project Management Body of Knowledge. Developed by the Project Management Institute, the body of knowledge is a recognized standard for project management. A standard is a formal document that describes established norms, methods, processes, and practices in a particular field. Using the body of knowledge, project management is accomplished through the appropriate application and integration of 5 process groups and 9 project management knowledge areas. These 5 process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. The 9 knowledge areas are integration, scope, time, cost, quality, human resource, communications, risk, and procurement. To understand how the two relate to each other, it's easiest to visualize a grid with knowledge on one axis and processes on the other. Estimating costs, for example, would come under the planning process and would require the project cost management knowledge area. To further explain this, a process is a set of interrelated actions and activities performed to achieve a specific result. Each process is characterized by its inputs, which are the tools and techniques that can be applied to achieve the resulting outputs. Inputs for estimating costs, for example, could include qualified estimators, historical data of costs, and industry minimum costs. The desired outcome would of course be the accurate estimation of those costs. In order for a project to be successful, the project team must select appropriate processes required to meet the project objectives. To do this, an organization's assets and environmental factors can provide guidelines and criteria for tailoring these processes to the specific needs of the project. This may include things like project closure guidelines, product acceptance criteria, historical information from previous projects, government or industry standards, organizational structure and culture, and existing facilities like capital and equipment.